Now at 6, details about a new Oklahoma law that requires a biological sex affidavit for public school students to participate in sports. Plus, the latest on the right to film police while they work in Kansas and Oklahoma. And a famous pole in an area Walmart is auctioned off for a good cause.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Oklahoma schools have begun enforcing a new state law that puts restrictions on sports participation in public schools. This is KOAM News at 6. KOAM's Bella Line has more on the story.
Oklahoma House Bill 4245 was first introduced by Republican representatives in January of 2022. The bill coincides with the Save Women's Sports Act. It is now law that biological sex affidavits are required to participate in sports for the upcoming activity season. When Governor Kevin Stint signed the bill in March, legislators that voted for the bill showed up to express their support.
I will always try to preserve and protect the rights of women and honor all of the things the women that our state have done before us so all of us can be here.
5 decades of Title IX is going to be very quickly undone if we allow just a few biological males to come in and start taking the medals and taking the ribbons.
As schools in Northeast Oklahoma have began announcing the requirement, many mixed opinions have stirred up.
Not only are they not accepted and safe at home, but they go to school and they're not safe or accepted there. And that just further shows that they're not accepted, that they are discriminated against. This entire bill goes against Title IX. Title IX was put in place and it does not allow sexual discrimination of any kind.
We're going to have to do this. We're going to abide by the law, but I do think it's just a little bit too much and it's overreach on behalf of our legislators.
In Oklahoma, I'm Bella Line, KOAM News.
Students and parents in Oklahoma public schools can contact their school district to learn more. Smoke was visible for miles today as a vacant building burned on the 1800 block of West 7th Street in Joplin. Firefighters responded to that blaze around 7 a.m. Officials say they had recently deemed the building as an unsecured, vacant, dilapidated structure. After clearing the fire, crews brought in a backhoe and brought that building down. No word yet on the cause of the fire. A court of appeals has ruled that the First Amendment gives bystanders the right to record law enforcement while out in the field working. KOAM's Jalen Banks catches up with some people this new ruling directly impacts.
The 10th Circuit Court that oversees both Oklahoma and Kansas assures that people have the First Amendment right to record law enforcement while they are working. This is in light of an incident where a suburban Colorado officer kept a bystander from recording a traffic stop.
To me, a lot of those interactions where an officer is either blocking that or they make an arrest like that, a lot of times to me that's the officer not being educated on or trained on how to handle that situation. So, you know, the officers, if they're trained properly and they know, like I said, it's okay to record.
His only message to the public is to be courteous and keep what he describes as a safe distance.
You know, if somebody's across the street and they want a video and stuff like that, as long as you're not interacting and causing issues and distracting the officer while you're doing that, it's not going to be an issue. If you are getting in the middle of something and causing problems, then the deputy's probably going to address you and ask you, hey, can you step away and get to a safe distance?
An area journalist finds comfort in knowing his rights are protected.
It's nice to have that judicial backing, to know that if something happens, I am backed by the judicial courts and the First Amendment rights. So that way I have a fallback if something goes south. If you get that one cop that wants to just push it further and say no, well, they've got to fight the judicial court and my First Amendment rights.
Jalen Banks, KOAM News.
For more information on this story and the ruling, you can go to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. An influential political action committee that's helped elect Republicans to the Oklahoma Senate has agreed to dissolve and pay the state a fine of more than $60,000 after an investigation revealed state campaign finance rule violations. The Republican Senatorial Committee agreed to the settlement with the Oklahoma Ethics Commission. As part of the agreement, PAC officials acknowledged accepting more than $35,000 of impermissible contributions. Those came from corporations or contributions earmarked for a specific candidate or candidate committee, both state ethics rules violations. Let's check in with Nick Kelly now for our first look at the weather.
As advertised, Al, our cold front came through and it provided us with a world of good today in terms of our weather setup. It's leaving us with mostly sunny skies to get this Tuesday evening going. But this morning, plenty of cloud cover, and certainly on the Kansas side and parts of southwest Missouri, a good scattering, thankfully, of rain and thunderstorms. Maybe a random severe thunderstorm warning earlier this morning for Bourbon County, but not too rambunctious, the rain and storms that we did see today. The front that gave us the rain pushed to the south of us. Now we're behind the front, drier air behind it thanks to high pressure centered over the center part of Nebraska. So that means temperatures are starting out in the upper 80s at the 6 o'clock hour. Not only are these numbers running 9 to 12 degrees colder than where we were this time last night, drier air means we don't have a heat index, so we're looking great for this evening. We'll fall through the 80s, 70s, and ultimately down to about 64 tonight. But unfortunately, the thermometer's got to go back up for the days to come. We'll break down the forecast here in a few.
A local organization is making sure Pittsburgh residents are registered to vote ahead of next month's elections. Today is the last day to register in Kansas, so the Women's Alliance for Voter Education was at Root Coffee House today, helping people register and update their information. An organizer says the proposed state constitutional amendment concerning abortion appears to be spurring a lot of voters to action.
I have seen a lot of passion on both sides, very, very much passion, people's beliefs. Whatever your beliefs, I encourage you to vote, and we'll see how that goes.
Voters in Kansas, Missouri, and Oklahoma will all head to the polls on August 2nd. Coming up, a poll at the Walmart Supercenter in Pittsburgh is auctioned off for a good cause. Plus, details about a new certification path for paraprofessionals in Missouri. Laura Kelly today signed a bipartisan bill that launches 988 as the official 24/7 three-digit number for the National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Starting on Saturday, July 16th, Kansans, and for that matter all Americans, can call 988 during mental health and substance abuse emergencies. Governor Kelly said in part, quote, "With 988, we're on the path to reversing our country's mental health crisis and getting Kansans the help they need," end quote. Some Pittsburgh drivers who take East Quincy Street might need to find an alternate route for a while. The city of Pittsburgh today began their East Quincy Street reconstruction project. Phase 1 of that project will permanently close East Quincy Street from Franklin Road to Taylor Street. Traffic on East Quincy between Franklin Road and Pre-Kings Highway will be limited to local traffic only. Rouse Street will also be reduced to 2 lanes on north and southbound lanes. The notorious Pittsburgh parking lot pole, it's been sold. Countless drivers in the Walmart parking lot have wrecked their vehicles by hitting this pole. The sturdy pole has even gained a following on Facebook. Well, recently the pole was sold to a local business owner wanting to keep a piece of Pittsburgh history.
In the front of my shop right now, we're going to keep it here for a couple months. I'm speaking with some other business owners in Pittsburgh. It is from Pittsburgh, so I feel it should be there. And I think we're working out to where it's going to go from business to business, kind of a traveling pole kind of thing.
Yeah, wow. Walmart is donating the profit from auctioning that pole to the Children's Miracle Network. If you're a teacher looking to work with children with disabilities, now might be your chance. Thanks to a new certification path in the state of Missouri, the Joplin School District is now looking for a broader range of applicants for paraprofessionals. Previous certification required 60 hours of online schooling to become certified, but now the certification requires only 20 hours of online training.
Currently in our district, we have a significant number of vacancies for paraprofessionals. And paraprofessionals are individuals who work in classrooms alongside teachers to support the learning of students with disabilities.
The school district is actively seeking to hire 31 paraprofessionals for the upcoming school year. A little bit later, Pitt State baseball hosts a prospect camp. Jacob Leonard's going to have details.
But first, even though it was nice to get a break from the heat and humidity today, it's got to return starting tomorrow. Forecast next. After we pushed near 100 degrees yesterday afternoon, it was nice that the cold front came on through as advertised, while everybody dealt with slightly cooler air and slightly drier air for today. A good number of us, at the very least, north of 44 and primarily on the Kansas side, maybe west of 49, finally saw at least some decent rain and thunderstorms scattered in nature this morning. Maybe one lone severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Bourbon County earlier this morning, but they did not get too rambunctious, the rain chances. Area-wide, the average from the last front, 0.3 of an inch, but you can see the bigger bullseye numbers over southeastern Kansas. In fact, we had so much rain over Wilson County, we actually had an aerial flood warning that expired at 3:45 this afternoon because they picked up on quite a bit of rain just within that short period of time alone. But now we are all dealing with the backside of the front, which is leading to not only a nice looking evening to get things going, but definitely a break from the heat. After pushing 100 yesterday, we dropped back into the lower 70s this morning, and so far just upper 80s for highs at Joplin Regional. Here was your last look at Landers Chevy Cadillac on the southeast side of Joplin. Partly to mostly sunny skies up top, mostly sunny skies from 7th and Rangeline. The numbers don't look bad still. 87 in Joplin with the north breeze at 9, keeping the humidity low at 39%. Actually makes it feel a hair cooler. Feels like 86 outside. Everyone's in the mid to upper 80s now, even with a couple of spots around 90 in Chanute and Fredonia. These are numbers running 9 to about 12 degrees cooler than where we were yesterday evening. And not only that, the drier air doesn't give us a heat index. So we are going to enjoy this evening for sure, certainly if you have any outdoor plans. And in fact, that dry air will allow us to fall through the 80s, 70s, down to about 64 overall as we go into tonight. So where do we stand with the setup moving forward? Let's broaden the view out. Here's the high pressure, keeping that northerly breeze in place over the Kansas-Nebraska line. The front to the south of us, and it'll fall apart over the next few days. And upstairs, it's nice to be temporarily on the cooler side of the jet before that upper level ridge will build back in, and unfortunately it will start to do so tomorrow. In the meantime though, mostly clear skies will take hold through the rest of the evening and going into tomorrow morning. That, a light breeze and drier air will allow us to drop back into the mid 60s. Pushing into the mid to upper 80s by noon tomorrow, and we got to trend a little bit hotter, but fortunately I'm expecting the humidity to stay on the low side of things. So 64 in the morning, 88 by noon, and even with a light northeast breeze of 5 to 10 by 5 o'clock, we'll have still a bit of a hotter day with highs topping out around 93. Keeping it mostly clear, mild again for your Thursday with lows back near 70, and then we got to go back into the mid 90s for Thursday as we really see this upper level ridge build back in. We are going to continue to watch to see how this will build because this will certainly push us into the upper 90s to near 100 to start the weekend out. But by the weekend, though, I will watch for another potential front that could graze us and send some at least minor rain chances our way. But current indications show that even if we get in on said rain chances, doesn't want to scrub out the heat quite yet. So let's go 93 tomorrow, 68 Thursday morning, and highs near 96. We'll go 98 Friday. Generally, Dow, we're just going to keep it hot and maybe a bit humid through the weekend and early next week. Upper 90s to near 100.
Some rain today was certainly welcome. More later in the week would be even more sun.
Something I'll watch very closely in the days to come.
We all will. Thanks, Nick. Hey, don't forget you can be the first to know about the day's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone, and it's free. It's available in the Apple App Store, Google Play Store, the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Still ahead, the Joplin Outlaws hit the field for a pair of games tonight at Joe Becker Stadium. And local baseball players get the chance to work out in front of college coaches. Jacob Leonard has that story and more up next.
The Joplin Outlaws hit the field tonight for the first time since the Mink League All-Star break. The Outlaws host the Chillicothe Mudcats this evening. And before their regularly scheduled game, these two actually have to finish up a suspended game from earlier this season. Right now, that game is in the top of the fourth, all tied up at 6. And when they finish up, they'll start game 2, and we'll have the latest from that one right here tonight at 10. Penn State baseball hosts a high school prospect camp today at Al Ortolani Field. And more than 50 players showed up to show what they can do and get evaluated by local college coaches.
Bounce around. We're watching every little thing we do. Let's start out really good. Let's keep it rolling.
We got a great group out here today. We're going to put them through a pro-style workout this morning, then come back out and play some games.
I really would like to go to the next level and play. I really just want to try to, get my name out and try to show these coaches what I can do and hopefully maybe get in contact with some guys. So,
Howdy, baby.
I just came out here to show my abilities to play baseball and look for a spot for me to play at the next level. Oh, it would mean a lot. I mean, that's my dream since I was, I don't know, 5 maybe. So it'd be awesome to play at the next level.
As long as you didn't hit the pitcher, he's out. It's a huge recruiting tool. Not only are we recruiting, we have Butler County, Labette, and Coffeyville here today. So we got other schools here. We're getting to see our whole staff is here. Their staffs are here, and they're getting in front of a lot of people today to hopefully make themselves better and get themselves looks. They'll get a full form evaluation of all their readings and what we think of them as a hitter, think maybe something they can improve on. If I'm thinking about messing up, I'm probably going to mess up more than I need to. Okay, just relax, have fun. Hi, boy Colt.
I've been hurt lately, so it's an opportunity to show them what I can actually do because I've been hurt and I haven't been able to show my coaches or anybody around what I can actually do.
Throw strike. Baby. I miss baseball. I haven't seen my guys for a month and a half. The players aren't here. I get a little rusty at this stuff. Miss them. It's good for us to get out and meet these guys and get to know them. Even if they don't show up at Pitt State right off the bat, they might go to a junior college and we'll be recruiting them again. And we save our notes. We kind of know who they are and just the personalities. When we go to games, we're going to know who they are. They're going to know who we are.
In the major leagues tonight, the St. Louis Cardinals open a 4-game series against the Dodgers. The Cards have just 6 games remaining until the All-Star break. Looking for their 3rd straight win tonight. That one begins in about 20 minutes. Then in the American League, Kansas City Royals have a chance for their first 4-game winning streak of the season tonight. They're at home for Game 3 of a 4-game series against the Tigers. That one begins at 7:10 at Kauffman Stadium. And that's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
Take some time now to honor a local veteran. Robert Roberts served in the U.S. Navy in 1945 and 1946. His hometown, Lita, Kansas, and we are proud to salute Seaman First Class Robert Roberts. He's a 4-state hero. You know, you can learn about lots of other heroes. We have thousands of them in our database. Look them up by name, look them up by hometown. More than likely, you'll find some heroes from your own town. You can also submit a hero of your own anytime. It's very simple. You just click on the link on our website. You know what that is, KOAMnewsnow.com. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. We're going to have more on the sale of that parking lot pole at Pittsburgh's Walmart that gained celebrity status online. Plus, President Biden meets with the President of Mexico to discuss issues affecting both countries. And a look behind the scenes at Amazon as they scramble to get all those Prime Day orders shipped out. Those stories, a lot more. It's coming up tonight on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Look at this. We're getting a breathtaking new look at our universe. NASA has released the first images from its James Webb Space Telescope, the most powerful space telescope ever by far. The space agency says these images show the most comprehensive view of the universe ever seen. The Webb telescope was launched on Christmas Day from a spaceport in South America and observes the mysteries of the universe through infrared light. NASA Administrator Bill Nelson says the images will help answer questions about the entire universe and what role humanity plays in it. These images, they peer back billions of light years.
That's amazing.
That's the distance, I should say, but that's much time it took for them to get here. The weather looking hotter.
Yeah, but fortunately not quite surface of the sun hot. We'll go back to 93 tomorrow, 96 Thursday, but we do have to trend back into the upper 90s Friday.
Final sports notes.
Cool news for the St. Louis Cardinals. Albert Pujols will participate in the Home Run Derby one more time.
Yeah, wow. Nostalgic. Thanks for joining us. See you at 10. Let's make it a great evening.